One of my fighters, Chris Van Heerden, his girlfriend is a girl named Ksenia, Karelina, who I think I told you a little bit about earlier when we were working out. And this is just a fucked up story. She's a 28-year-old American Russian citizen who made a $51 donation to a Ukrainian charity. She went home a year ago to visit her family in Russia, and Putin got her. And she's in prison now for 12 years. And her name's...
what was the charity?
The charity was a Ukrainian charity based in America for Ukraine that she thought was going to give money to children that had been, hurt by the war in Ukraine. It's all very researchable.
And so she got put on a list?
She's dual citizen. She's an American citizen and a Russian. She went to visit her parents a year ago in Russia, and somehow the Russians were able to figure out, like, if anyone with any Russian citizenship, even if it's dual, makes donations to certain charities, they get flagged. So she came in, got to her parents' house, was called to the police station the next day, came in, and they arrested her. And said, you donated $51, this is treason. And she's now almost a year into a 12-year sentence.
Holy
so
shit.
President Trump has been super cool. Dana White has been helping, just trying to get, it's such a crazy chess game, right? That someone like, look, and I hope things go really well between us and Putin, and I think Trump's doing some great things, and I'm glad we're talking. But the way they do business is different, and they will grab somebody, and they've done it to Brittany Griner, and they just released this guy Fogel, who they had gotten for smoking weed. If they can get you and hold you and use you as a bargaining chip, they will. And we don't do that. It's one of the things that the U.S. doesn't do. But you end up having to make these kind of crazy swaps. It's all about swapping, right? So they get Ksenia, and well, who do we have that's going to, get Putin to say, all right, yeah, I'm going to let her out.
Right, we release that arms dealer.
Yeah, but the people that we have are like pretty serious criminals.
The merchant of death.
The merchant of death for a basketball player smoking weed. It's crazy, but if you love Brittany Griner, I know Ksenia, and my good friend is engaged to her, and he's in hell, and it's like we need someone to trade, and so it's not going to feel right for, people. We're going to have to trade someone that's done some pretty bad things to get this girl out of prison. And that's the game that these guys are playing. And it's not a game that you ever want to get involved in. And I wish I hadn't, but I have. And, Ksenia is a beautiful girl, and she's in a really bad way, and she doesn't deserve it. So.
And it's so true that we don't do that in America, because there's a lot of Russians that fight in the UFC, and they don't even get booed. No one even cares.
They love them,
especially when they're really good. People get excited.
Khabib is
sure.
I mean, we don't do it, and that's we take America takes a lot of shit, and I don't know, maybe what we deserve and what we don't, but we don't do that. We don't detain 28-year-old ballerinas for smoking weed and throw them in prison for 15 years, 20 years.
Right.
We don't take people and say, well, you donated $50 to a charity that we're not aligned with. We're throwing you in prison for 12 years.
Treason. Wow.
Yeah, so it's...